What is going on, guys, and welcome to a brand new video. And today I'm going to be breaking down some tips for you guys to gain MMR. This is mainly tailored to beginning players, so hopefully you guys do enjoy. If you guys did learn something in this video, leave a comment down below and consider subscribing, as it does help out the channel quite a bit. The first tip I'm going to be giving you guys is a very essential tip, and it's a big problem that Dota has. It's don't be toxic. It's going to help you win a lot of games, because when you're a nice player, I understand that there's a lot of players who are really toxic and they're flaming you, especially if you're not having a really good game. All you have to do is mute these players. That's simply all you have to do. That way you don't tilt yourself and you don't end up throwing the game or just making crazy plays just to piss people off. So just in general, don't be toxic, keep it PMA, and you're going to have a much better Dota experience and you're going to win a lot more MMR. Another tip is for you guys to have a small hero pool. I think you guys should stay within 5 to 6 heroes. Even some people might consider that being a big hero pool, but I think 5 heroes is kind of the perfect number for you guys to be able to learn these heroes, learn effectively all the matchups, and if they're in meta, I think you should have a few meta heroes under your belt, or at least learn them while they're in meta. That way when they're off meta, you're not going to be playing them, but when they're meta again, you're able to use them and you have a decent understanding on the hero and what its matchups are, because matchups are extremely important in the game of Dota 2. They're not everything, because matchups can be swayed with different factors like your support or whatnot and the runes. There's a lot of factors going into Dota, but most of the time, if you understand your matchups, you know how far you can push your hero, you understand what you are doing, and you have your item timings, which is another tip that is very important. You have to learn what your hero wants to accomplish, or what do you need to accomplish with your current position. So if you're an offlaner and you're playing a hero like Axe, you understand that your timing is going to be Blink Dagger Blade Mail. You shouldn't be fighting with your team if you don't have that timing, because that's when the hero is going to be the strongest. That's when you're going to be able to get more kills around the map, and you're going to be able to rotate with your supports off cooldown. In the meantime, you don't have the catch, you don't have the ability to do that much damage, because Blade Mail is that part of damage, and you also aren't going to do a whole lot. And if you start losing team fights just because you are listening to your team and you are going for fights that you shouldn't be instead of farming those items, then you're going to start having problems. So another thing is for you guys to not always listen to your team. You need to learn when to listen to your team and when to actually ignore them. Ignore that they're going to be flaming you because you're farming, because when you're popping off and you're carrying them during the game, they're going to understand that what you did was the correct play. Now, sometimes there is a team fight that you might be able to join, you might be able to clean up some kills, and you might help them out because you're already in the area. You can definitely do something like that. You don't have to ignore your team. But if you're on the other side of the map, you're farming freely, why would you go join a team fight when you're trying to get a really crucial timing? Also, communicate your ideas. Tell your team what you are trying to do. Hey guys, I am just trying to get my Blade Mill and my blank. It's going to be a very important timing for me. If you guys can sacrifice yourselves for a little bit while I get this, I'm absolutely free farming. That way your team isn't expecting you to show up to any type of fight, but you communicated that. They can flame you, they can say whatever they want, but at least you did your job. You told them what your plan was and what you were trying to do. As well as, if you're confused on what item builds to buy, you can always follow the Dota guides. There's many really good guides for items in the shop. A bunch of Immortal players have really good guides, so you should follow those as a general standard, and you should always follow what meta items are really strong and play heroes that benefit from those items. It's gonna help you quite significantly. Right now, an item like Mage Slayer is extremely strong. Heroes like Ember Spirit definitely benefit from that item. Also, Parasma is strong, so heroes like OD take advantage of this item quite significantly. So these heroes are in meta because an item is in meta. So you always have to keep the meta in mind, as you're going to benefit quite heavily from broken heroes or broken items. So keep that in mind and try and have at least one meta hero in your hero pool, or at least try to learn one in between games. It should always be very beneficial for you to learn new heroes, but stick to 5 heroes that you enjoy playing the most. Another thing is picking your position. That honestly depends absolutely on your playing style and what you enjoy to do. If you like helping out your team and you like being this hero who's buying regen for their carry or for their offlaner, then you should play support. If you want to be a super aggressive support, you play position 4 or soft support. You can do that. If you like the challenge of 1v1s and just being an overall cocky player, because most mid laners are, I can tell you that for a fact, because I'm a mid lane player and cockiness is a part of playing the lane, then you can play the mid lane. If you just like to farm, you like to hit creeps, you like to have a lot of net worth, and you like to have a lot of game impact, then you should be playing the carry position, because it is the highest impact when it comes to the late game, and most of the shot calling is done by supports. So if you're a shot caller, you should play support. So honestly, it depends on what type of player you are, what type of playing style you have, your hero pool, which will determine mostly what type of position you're going to be playing, because some heroes are not made to be core heroes. Some heroes are just much better in the support position. So definitely keep these factors in mind when you're going to be picking a position for you guys to play. You could also try all the positions and realize what is your favorite thing. If you guys are enjoying one position more than another, you can rotate between two positions that are not too crazy. Another thing is play to win, not to throw. Keep playing the game. Sometimes you will run into a game where your core hero or your support is just running down the lane and feeding on purpose. Keep playing the game. I have won so many games because I have not stopped trying, even though we are a man down, essentially because they keep throwing, or they're breaking their items, or they're wasting all the wards in the shop and placing them in stupid places. You can always win a Dota match. It is a game of mistakes. So at the end of the day, if they make more mistakes than you do, you might be able to win the game even if you're a man down, and you might even get that player to actually stop throwing if you talk to them properly. You're not being toxic towards them. There's a lot of things you can do. I have managed to turn different players around from their throwing ways, and we've managed to win many games. So if you can just talk to them, or at least try, you can definitely try and get a positive outcome out of that. Definitely try. And if that doesn't work, then just continue to play the game and try your hardest to win the game, as the game is not over until the ancient is down. That's how I look at it. I will never stop trying. Even if you are far behind extremely, it doesn't matter. I will still keep trying until my ancient is down and the game is over. Another really good tip, if you're going to be playing a core role, you should be playing Lasso Trainer before starting a match. If you're going to start out cold, it's your first game of the day, you should play the Lasso Trainer. It's super important to just get warmed up. Last hitting is a really big part of Dota, and you need to be proficient at it, as it's going to help you in more levels, it's going to help you get a lot more farm, and it's going to help you push the enemy out of the lane, because if you're a better last hitter than them, you're going to be able to have that extra bit of XP, you're going to have that extra bit of farm, you're going to hit your timing a lot faster, and you might be able to kick them out of lane just because of that. So definitely keep that in mind. Play the last hit trainer with whatever hero you plan on playing. At least you're going to be a lot warmer, and you could even do it a few times. It's about 3 minutes. You can do it a couple of times. You spend about 5 minutes doing the last hit trainer. You're going to be super warm to last hit, and you're going to be doing a lot better as if you were cold. So definitely do that. I highly recommend it. I don't do it enough, but it's super strong. When I do end up doing the last hit trainer and I go play a game, my last hitting is, I'd like to say 60 to 70% better, just because I was actually practicing that aspect of Dota. So I definitely think you guys should be doing that. Another tip is that you guys should be looking at the minimap more often. I believe this is one of the hardest things you could do as a new player, because there's so many things going on. You're last hitting, the tower could be hitting you, you might need some regen, you're flying out your courier, you're buying items in the shop. There's a lot of things that you can be doing at the same time, but you need to realize that the minimap is there to help you. It's one of the most important tools you have as a Dota player, to realize what enemies are missing around the map, what play they could possibly be making. If you don't see their most aggressive hero, or their mid laner is not showing and you're a carry, they're probably going to your lane, you're probably getting ganked, and you're probably going to die. But if you just step over to a side camp and wait for that hero to show, you're going to be safe. If that hero doesn't show, then you definitely know they're ganking or they're just farming. But if you don't know that, you don't have the vision, just play safe. Sometimes a few deaths could cause the game to spiral and be very bad for you. So definitely keep an eye on the minimap. Also for your team, if sometimes a lot of players lose their awareness on where the team actually is. So keep a look on the minimap. It'll show you a lot of things. It'll show you the runes. It'll show you a lot of different information that you're going to need to succeed as a Dota player. It is definitely one of the most important things, and something that is overlooked. Some of the best players in the world don't stop staring at the minimap, and they have complete awareness of what is going on the map, or at least they have a really solid idea of where the enemy could be and what type of play they could be doing. Extremely beneficial for you to look at the minimap just to avoid ganks, avoid dying, and overall know what to do and what lane to push. Also for farm, you can also look at the minimap for extra farm. Some lane could be pushing into your tower, and it could be a couple of waves, which is a lot of farm, rather than going with your team for a fight that you necessarily don't have to be there, because you're the carry and you need to be farming that extra item because it is one of your timings. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you guys learned something, leave a comment down below, leave a like, and consider subscribing. I'm super grateful to you guys for all the support I've been getting on the videos recently. I am super excited to keep bringing you guys more videos and more series and more tips for all these newer players who want to learn the game. It's honestly very fun to make these videos. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.